What's going on, everybody? Welcome back. FantasyTeamAdvisors.com, bringing home the bacon NBA DFS video. It is Tuesday. It is January 30th, and we are back with another video. Big shout out to everyone who saw yesterday's video, who engaged, who left comments, who tried to win. We do have one winner, which we haven't had in a while, so we're very excited about that. So what do I mean by having a winner? So anytime a video gets at least 50 likes, you leave a comment, you are a YouTube subscriber, you have a chance to win a free week of DFS content. 100 likes is a chance to win a free month. 125 likes, a chance to win a free year. And anytime a video gets 150 more likes, you have a chance to win a lifetime pass. The other way to win, be a subscriber and leave a comment on telling me who you think is going to score the most amount of DraftKings fantasy points and how many fantasy points are they going to score. If you get it closest without going over, you will win a free week of DFS content. If you get it exactly correct, let's say Luka, 78.75 fantasy points, and you get it exactly correct, you will win a free month of DFS content. And we did have one winner yesterday, so we're going to get that out of the way real quick and congratulate them. So we had multiple people comment. We had someone put Jokic for 73.55. We had someone put Doncic for 76. We had Wemby 75. We had Wemby for 76. People are playing the Price is Right rules. We had Luka for 78. And guess what? The winner is JJ Ryan 3440. If I mess that up, I apologize. So if you are watching this video, like this video, and then hit me up on email. dfshelp1@gmail.com with a username and email you would like to use on the website. If you don't already have an account, we will get you set up. So you projected Doncic here for 78 fantasy points. He went off for 83.75. So if you watched yesterday's video, you knew I absolutely loved him. He was everything that I wanted, and I thought he would be the highest scoring player, and he was. So congratulations on that. We are going to continue. Same thing for today. So either leave a comment just to get in the video. You have 2 chances to win every single day. We're very excited about it. So it seemed like you guys liked the way we did it yesterday, so we're going to continue that trend. So we're going to look at player trends. We're going to look at the spreads. We're going to look at where they are on, how they've scored this year during those spreads. If you want to see the article, click the link down below. That is the article that we project players out. We have 3 top, 3 mid, and 3 value picks at each position anytime there are at least 5 or more games on the slate. So definitely clicking on the ads helps in these videos, and clicking the articles help as well. So again, it's a Tuesday. It's a 5-game slate after a massive 11-game slate yesterday. And I just kind of want to rock and roll. I want to see what we've got going on. I want to look at the Vegas numbers. I want to look at everything that we have on this slate. So if you like the video, hit the like button. Let's get to 50 likes. I am trying to give away FTA plus pass. I want multiple people to win FTA plus passes. We did it almost every single day for MLB. MLB is 2 weeks away from tomorrow, I believe, spring training, and then we're going to rock and roll, and we're going to have an awesome time. If you have never checked out what we have or what we do during MLB, go check out our playlist, go look at MLB DFS, and just kind of look at the length of the video, the in-depthness of the video. We go through everything, and that's what we want to continue here. So, like I said, we're going to look at the Vegas numbers. We got 5 games, so a smaller slate today, but a manageable slate. It's going to help us build out and do everything we want to do. So we see the Hawks versus the Lakers. Hawks are a 5.5 point favorite with a 247.5 or 247 over under. Depending on when you watch this video, these lines may have changed a little bit, so you can definitely see the trends and how they've changed throughout the day. We've got the Celtics versus Pacers. Celtics are a 7-point favorite, 241.5. We've got the Warriors versus 76ers. Warriors are a 4.5 point favorite. We have the Knicks versus Jazz. Knicks are a 4-point favorite. Open at 6-point favorite, so it is trending down. And we've got them at 234. And then the Bulls versus Raptors. Bulls are a 1.5 point favorite, 223.5 over under, and it stayed exactly how it was when it opened. So that being said, we can also build through, so we'll look at this afterwards, and we'll kind of get a feel for players, and we'll kind of, build trends off that. So If you do like the way this video is, let us know. It's a little bit more in depth. On the website, we do have more information as well, which I will put up on the screen. And like I said, by the time you watch this video, there will be an article which you can click down below, which does help us out a lot. So as you can see, we loved Luka yesterday. I knew he was projected out, or the way the trends were going in his matchup, he was projected to have the most amount of fantasy points, and that's exactly what he did. So we know what we're doing a little bit. So if you want to check it out, definitely check it out. So we got NBA tab, we got our player trends. We're going to kind of go over here a little bit. We got DFS minutes played. We got fantasy points allowed by position, which we're going to go over. Vegas odds, top plays. So the top plays are both Fanduel and DraftKings. They are both by DVP, or defense first position, and spreads. So implied team total. So you can kind of see where they stack throughout the day. We've got the player projection, so every single player that's at least projected a minimum of 1 fantasy points, they're going to be on there, both for FanDuel and DraftKings. We've got our DFS chalk, so if you play cash or tournaments, they are there. We've got our cheat sheet, which includes optimal lineups, DK tiers, top plays at each position, about 5 or 6 plays for cash and 5 or 6 plays for tournaments, and then we've got our NBA bets as well. So that being said, we are going to take a look at the player trends for today. Now, a lot of these players have played are on a second game of a back-to-back. Some have questionable tags. We've got to get used to it. So LeBron here at the top, this is what's wild to me. The 0 for the Lakers means they have not been +5 to +10 underdog all season. And they're, as of right now, they're at +5. So, or they're at +5.5, right? Yeah, so they're at +5.5 right now. So this is definitely something to monitor. So if it trend goes down a little bit, then we can see if it moves down to a little bit lower. If it goes to 4 or less, he averages about 62.3 fantasy points. They've never been that. Same thing with Davis. They've never been that way. So that is definitely something to look at. You got Trae Young, who's between a -10 and -5 right there, 47.9. So the price for him, just because it takes into account if the player, if the team is up big, they might sit Trae Young, and then we're not going to get the points we need out of him. So it's kind of something to look at. Another one is Anthony Davis. Like I say, they've never been there before. You got Andre Drummond in the same boat here for Detroit, averaging 45.8, which we kind of look at, and, we look at Drummond against Toronto, 5,200. He's not bad in this matchup. Hitting value. He's higher than he's been for a while. Toronto, he faced him on January 18th, 11.5. He played 10 minutes. The problem is the minutes are not there for Andre Drummond. Is he a tournament option? I'm okay with a tournament option. Cash, I'm not okay with. I just don't trust him. So we can kind of look at this. We look at Embiid. He's questionable. He did not play in yesterday's game. This is something to look at. He was a late scratch against Denver on Saturday for the same reason. So this is definitely something to look at. Has not played since the 25th, so it's been 5 days. Didn't do too much there. They had a huge game against San Antonio, 105.5. So yesterday I was actually wrong. I said Luka at 102, 101 or 102 might have been the highest. No, Embiid was the highest. So he had 70 actual. I remember that. There was just so many points going around last week. So it's definitely something to look at. He had a huge game, and then he was hurt. We monitor this. I don't know if he'll play. It's a lot of money, $12,000 to play for someone who's not 100%. You've got Halliburton, who's questionable. We just kind of look at this. He plans to play, so we should be good there at 9,900. James, again, questionable. He's going to be questionable every single day. So just a lot to go over with player trends. Ones that jump out would be ones like the 0. Yeah, Steph Curry. They've never been 5-point or less favorited here this season so far, which is crazy to think about. It's February almost. But these players, this is just a good way to look. Just another tool to use when you're building through. So kind of look at that. different ways to build around. You want to look for the highest over-unders, then you want to look at the spreads, and then you want to look at player performances and stuff like that. So that is why we are here. If you're looking for to buy lineups, you're in the wrong spot. There's plenty of other people on Twitter or other places that will just sell you lineups. They don't go into detail. They don't go into depth. They don't make these videos to make you a better DFS player. We do that. FantasyTeamAdvisors.com does that. So looking at this, 5 games. We want to get exposure to the Hawks versus Lakers. Hopefully it's not a blowout. It is a back-to-back. We want to monitor and look. So let's just take a look at like LeBron James. How did he do yesterday? Game log-wise, 37 minutes, 51.5 fantasy points. A down game compared to his 83 fantasy points the game before. We look at this as he played Atlanta this year. Digging into the numbers. Does not appear that he's played Atlanta this year. So, a team he hasn't played, and that is just another tool to use. So, he ended up with 51.5. And then Anthony Davis doesn't have a tag right now, which is odd to see. He was... so game log wise, played yesterday, played 29 minutes. This is something to monitor. Doesn't have a tag, has a sore Achilles, played 29 minutes, only 40.75 fantasy points. So in that instance, if you think maybe he's a little bit more fresh because they only played 29 minutes, he could be in store for a game for 9,600 compared to paying LeBron 9,700. So it's going to be very comparable because the pricing, they know what they're doing with the pricing. So kind of look at that. We can kind of monitor through there. Other ones, Nikola Vucevic. So we look at him. He's the one that jumps out to me. 49.5 fantasy points is what he's averaging when it's this spread at 7,500. I don't mind that. So game log wise, 33.25. He's 7,500. Again, with cash, you're looking for 6.5, 7 times value. For tournaments, 8+ basically value there. So we look at this. Has he played Toronto this year? Played him back on the 18th, 59.5 fantasy points. It's what you're looking for. It's kind of what we need. 59.5 fantasy points at the same exact price. I love that. He's playing the minutes. He's in there. So if you don't want to pay for like Anthony Davis, Vucevic, I love Vucevic today. He looks like what I want to do. As of now, the highest projected player that we have in our projections is Anthony Davis. I don't know if that's going to change a little bit. That's definitely something to look at moving forward. But I am a big Vucevic fan today. So let's just take a look at other ways to look at it. So looking at like fantasy points allowed by position. So this is a good way to look at it. So, and we did this yesterday. Some people do like this. Some people don't. And that's completely fine. We are going to look at it. We are going to... hopefully change your mind a little bit to see how you build lineups. So again, if you like this way of video, let me know. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. If you'd rather us just go over top mid 3 and value picks at each position, which are with our projections, and that's it, let me know that as well. I need some feedback to see what you're doing. Because we're going to have this, and then we're going to have MLB. And I haven't decided if we're going to do both MLB videos and NBA videos come April, or we're going to shift our focus. We'll still have NBA content, but shift our focus to mainly MLB content. So that is what I would like to hear from you guys as well. It's going to be kind of a trend moving forward for the next month. I need to know. I want some just ideas of what you guys would be looking for. So that being said, we look at this. San Antonio, the Spurs, they give up the most, but they are not playing. The Wizards are not playing. The Bucks are not playing. Phoenix is not playing. So we continue to move down the list. Utah, the Jazz, they are playing the Knicks. So we look at this. Knicks players, 52.5 fantasy points is what the average is they're giving up. So let's take a look at the Knicks players for point guard in this matchup. Jalen Brunson. He's going to be the starter there. Do you want to pay up $9,300 for him game log wise? 49.5. That's what we're looking for. 56.5. He's 9,300. Let's see. Has he played Utah this year? Just kind of want to get a little feel if he's had any success against them this year. December 13th. Scored 46.25. He was 8,200. So not bad. See if he's had any other matchups here. He has not. So he played Utah. And he played them at Utah. Now he's playing at home. Now Julius Randle is out. It's kind of Jalen Brunson's team. So you can throw Jalen Brunson in there. Now again, when you're building through and you're looking at it, there might be different options. There might be other value that open up throughout the day. So that right there, we're looking at that. If you do those two players, you average about 5,500 there. So people do ask about value. Value opens up throughout the day. So we're still waiting on players questionable or game time decisions to be in or out. That will be where the value opens up throughout the day. So it's definitely something where I say check our website a couple of times a day, and hopefully we're able to help you out. So we move to the next one. If you want to go with point or shooting guard. So with shooting guard, the Hawks give up the second most amount. So it's between the Hawks and the Jazz. So again, the Hawks are playing the Lakers. The Jazz are playing the Knicks. So if you want to look at that, you've got Quentin Grimes yesterday. I was on him yesterday. Didn't do too much. We had him in one of our lineups. He did play 32 minutes, so we projected out the minutes, and they were there. It didn't translate to fantasy points, and that's exactly what's going to happen throughout pretty much every single day if you're playing. Not everyone is going to have a fantastic game. So again, you can kind of see it's his lowest game in a couple of games, but it was his most amount of minutes throughout the day. So again, he was just cold. 3 for 11, shooting 273. If you're 1 for 6 on 3. So he was chucking the ball up, wasn't dropping. So we were on the right track with the minutes, just it did not translate over. So do you want to look at, it's a back-to-back. DiVincenzo played 42 minutes, 46.5 fantasy points. Again, this is a back-to-back, but he is in a good spot. So he is in a good spot. Or we can take a look at the Lakers. If you trust them, Austin Reeves. It's going to be Austin Reeves there for 5,900. Now, look at what he did yesterday. 20.275 or 20.75 is not enough at his price of 6,200. That's my problem. 5,900 here. He's dropped down a little bit. Now he's playing Atlanta. They should be playing from behind, and people are going to see that he had a down game there. Played 30 minutes. If his minutes could be up, obviously if like Anthony Davis didn't play, it would boost minutes for him. So between Austin Reeves and they're basically the same price. I kind of like this play here. Tournament wise, I'm okay with. So we kind of look at that, and that's kind of what we feel. So then we move to the small forward position. We look at them here. The Wizards, they're not playing. Okay. So then you bring the Jazz. It looks like on paper right now, the Knicks are going to be that play where you want to stack a little bit. So you've seen, with like MLB, there are certain teams you want to stack with just against a pitcher or stuff like that. This is kind of the way it is. So while the Wizards give up the most amount of fantasy points overall, we're looking at the Jazz, the Knicks. That looks like it's the team we kind of want to look at. So again, it's not the end-all be-all. It's not the only way to go about it, but it is definitely a way to go. So OG, he's got the questionable tag. He did not play yesterday, which was kind of crazy because he was ruled out an hour before the tip-off. So this is definitely something to look at. So if he's out at 6,800, that does open up value for Josh Hart or Quentin Grimes. Again, we were on Grimes. Kind of didn't do much. So Grimes could be in a spot again at 3,600. If you were to use Grimes and you wanted to go with this Knicks stack, this is a tournament play. So Grimes would be a tournament play. We'd look at him, 3,600, averaging 13.3. Like I said, the minutes were there yesterday. The production was not. If the minutes are there again today, this feels like the production could be. And this is one where people are going to be off of him because of yesterday. I want to go back to the well with him. Now, tournament-wise, I'm okay with him tournament-wise. Cash, I probably don't trust him enough in cash. I just don't. So, moving on to power forward. Now, again, the way we're building this is not the only way to do it. This is a good starting point. This is a good way to think about building. This is not the only way to build. So, that's what we're looking at there. So, with this, Atlanta, they give up the most amount of fantasy points to the power forward, which is 53.5. Again, so we look at that. Who are they playing? They're playing the Knicks. Power forward Knicks, Lakers, LeBron James, Anthony Davis. Now, Anthony Davis, we don't know. That's the problem. So, Anthony Davis is the one where, do you want to pay up for LeBron? He is questionable. He's going to have that tag every single day. Again, you can go with the trends. He's never been in this position before where he hasn't done anything. So, do you want to pay up for LeBron? Kind of a down game, a little bit down compared to like 83 the day before, but could be in store for just absolutely feasting in this one. So I do love LeBron here, but if you go with this build, it allows only 4,700 the rest of the way. So that's the problem. And then we already have a center position, but if you did want to go with center and you want to kind of build it like we're doing here, the way to go is the Wizards give up the most. Atlanta gives up the second most to the center position, 59.8 fantasy points, at least on DraftKings. Again, that would bring us to Anthony Davis. Now, is there a world that we could build Anthony Davis and LeBron James in there? Possibly. You put him in there, though, you're only averaging 4,000 the rest of the way through. Kind of difficult to do. Oh, is it impossible? No. Because we could take out like a Jalen Brunson. So then that bumps it up to 5,300. So then where could we go with 5,300? Let's just, and this is not a lineup that I'm going to be just like throwing in there, but like this is a lineup we can look at. So let's just take a look. If we're averaging 5,300, 53 to 5,400 at each position, let's see where we could go. So Brandon Podziemski, game log wise, 28.25, not bad. It was his best game of the year. He's going up against Philly, Golden State. So Philly against point guard. Let's just see. Am I missing it? Okay, so Philly gives up an average of 48.2, ranked 9th out of 30th. So 48.2 would be pretty good for him. The problem is the minutes. I don't know if they're going to be there. Is it going to be him? Is it going to be Steph Curry? That's my problem. It's going to be Steph Curry, but is he going to be able to play enough to get that? We see TJ McConnell. Game log wise, the minutes aren't there for TJ. Could they be there today? Possibly. Flip side of that, Peyton Pritchard. Game log, the minutes also. So this is the problem if you want to take both James and Davis. Might be a little bit hard. Pat Bev against Golden State. The minutes, they're kind of been there. And he's done something. So he could be in store for a game. So if Tobias Harris is out, if Embiid is out again, Patrick Beverley could be a tournament option for me. You use him, we can still average 5,300. So there's a way to build around an Anthony Davis and LeBron James. They're in good spots that obviously the value picks are going to have to hit. So the Quentin Grimes is going to have to do better than he did the game before. And again, it's in a back-to-back. So if you want to look at like how has Quentin Grimes, and this is another way to do it, how has Quentin Grimes done on the second leg of a back-to-back? So we just kind of look through this. 2 days in between, right here. So played 17.25 for 17 minutes. On the second game of a back-to-back, 4.25. So not very good. We come through here, right here. Philly, 37.5 against Philly. Second game of a back-to-back, 11.25. Not good. Come back through here again, 14.25 on the second game of a back-to-back, 12.25. So the trend is not good for him on the second game of a back-to-back. And it's been that way. Okay, the trend bucks a little bit, but it's only 15.5. Basically been that way the entire season. On the second game of a back-to-back, Quentin Grimes has not done well. He's done worse than the first game. So something to monitor, something to look at. Now, this on the screen right now, this is not a final product, obviously. Do I trust this lineup? Not really. Is this a tournament lineup? Sure, it's a tournament lineup. So this is something when you're building, kind of pay attention. If you have questions, get those down below. If you want to try to win FTA Plus, definitely click the video, like the video, leave a comment, whether or not you're just leaving a comment to try and win if we get to 50 likes, or if you're trying to tell me who's going to score the most amount of fantasy points, get those guesses in there. The earlier, the better. So this is a different way I built. If you like this, the way this video goes, hit the like button, let us know. If you just want to see the projections, let us know that as well. So good luck on this slate, everybody. Let's bring them some bacon today. Peace.